Project L, also known as 2XKO, or as some people have been calling it, 2X Kuso. Man, I can't tell you how many times I've been calling it 2K, like it's the 2K games, like 2K WWE. You know, I had to record this like 8 times because I kept saying 2KXO instead of 2XKO. What a terrible name. What a terrible name. Yeah, so the alpha happened last week, and despite yelling on Twitter that I was not important enough to get access to it, I eventually did get access to it. So maybe I'm a little bit more important than people let on. You know, I'm getting there. You know, I'm gonna be an e-celeb one day, guys. I'm gonna be an e-celeb. So after playing it for a little bit, you know, I try to play as much as I possibly can. I just wanted to formulate, you know, a couple notes that I've written down about this game, and I know it's in alpha, but it feels like it's been alpha for like 30 years now. I mean, back when this game was announced, I was like in elementary school. You know, now I'm in the retirement home and the game is still in alpha. It's like, what's going on here? So yeah, here's the good, the bad, and the ugly for the 2XKO alpha. Let's go. Alright, first is the big one, and that is Vanguard and the Riot Launcher. Now, I got problems with Vanguard. I know a lot of people have problems with Vanguard, but for those that don't know, and no, I'm not talking about Vanguard Princess, I'm just talking about the anti-cheat software that Riot uses. It is all kinds of sketchy, and now what it is, Vanguard is a kernel level access program. Now what that means is it has the highest level of security on your PC. Now, you would hope that, you know, this won't cause any issues, but all it takes is just one little fuck up, just one little fuck up, and it can completely destroy your computer. I don't know if anybody remembers the cyber flare or the cyber security firm that caused an outage. That was an antivirus. That was a kernel level program, and you can just see how much damage that caused. So I do not trust Vanguard, especially because Vanguard runs all the time, and it's just a process that continually goes. If you try to disable it, you'll have to restart your computer just to play any Riot games. So I'm not a big fan of Vanguard. Hopefully they get rid of it, because that's going to be a deal breaker for a lot of people, but I don't think it is, because League of Legends apparently has been using Vanguard forever, and you just gotta live with it. And you know, I'm not really a big fan of CCP hardware running on my computer, but then again, I also use Windows, so it's not like, you know, Microsoft is any better when it comes to that. So going back to what I said about Vanguard Princess, this game is reminding me of that because my controller just does not work in the menus. Now, I don't know how you fuck this up so badly where the controllers don't work on the main menus. I know it's alpha, but don't be hitting me with that as an alpha, because controlling the game and moving around the menus should be like top priority. I should be number one. Even if you give me just like the simplest terrible UI for my menu, I should be able to just plug in a controller and just navigate it like no problem. Like I shouldn't have to think about it. But when I'm sitting here and my controller's not working and I have to use the keyboard to maneuver around, and also if Steam is running, the game also has issues with the controller. I don't know what the fuck that's about, but yeah, the controller, they gotta fix that shit. Why doesn't it work in the menus? Now going into more technical crap, I did notice a lot of screen tearing. The performance was kind of weird. Now I have a pretty beefy rig, so I should be running this game no problem, but there has been noticeable moments of slowdown and lag, and I don't know if that's the netcode or if that's the game itself, but there are some performance issues. But I will chalk this up as, you know what, it's an alpha, I'll let it slide. It's no issue. I also noticed that the music just kind of stops randomly. Like I have games where just no music, just for no reason. Like, all right, well, I guess this is what we're doing now. I guess no music.
Let's go! Surprise!
I will say that it looks like we've graduated, you know, female, male, you know, that stuff's like, that's all in the past, you know, male, female, you know, it's body type 1, body type 2, that's the new hotness. But now apparently the gender is sporty or curvy. So, I don't even know what the fuck that is anymore. Now getting into the gameplay, this is the real meat of it. The game's movement just feels kind of off. It feels like I'm fighting underwater sometimes, and I don't really know why that is. It feels like this game's a little bit too grounded for what it's trying to be. Now, I've never played Marvel vs. Capcom. The only experience I have with tag games is, of course, Skullgirls and BB Tag, and a little bit of Street Fighter Cross Tekken, as about as much tag as I've played. But in those games, you know, you move around and you kind of like fly around the screen a little bit, and the movement's like very fast, like very quick, you know, very quick movements, very fluid. This game feels very stiff, and it's like when I feel like I go for a jump, I feel like I'm hanging in the air longer than I should for a jump. And this kind of leads me to believe that at one point this game was going to be like a slow, you know, footsies based fighting game before the tag was added. And you kind of see that in like the very early versions of the game that they showed off like a million years ago. That you know, the game was like very slow paced, very neutral and stuff like that. Now they added all this tag stuff, and you got like touch of death combos, and it's very crazy, but the movement doesn't really match the vision that they're trying to go for. So I don't know, it just doesn't feel right to me. And again, maybe that's something of the alpha. Maybe they're gonna fix it and have it be more fluid or speed up the movement a little bit. Maybe add some like double jumps or like air dashing, because I think only Ari can air dash now. So yeah, they need to do something with the movement. And now the good. So I really like the lobby that they have, and I'm not a big fan of like, you know, obtrusive lobbies. Like I ragged on the Rising lobby for many times because of how unnecessarily like big and stupid it is. But the 2XKO lobby is actually really cool. I really like it because it makes me feel like I'm actually like in an event. You know, like I'm at like a local or like a tournament where you got like the main stage and you see like the actual people are like playing like on the main stage. You can see that are actual games, and then like everybody's out, you know, playing their little sets on the side and stuff. That was really cool, and especially the queue feature. So if you don't walk up to a cabinet, you know, you want to set it up like, oh, I want to, you know, find a match, and you got like your buddy or somebody. It'll actually tell you which cabinet is free and who's actually looking, and it'll actually bring all the players together to that cabinet, so you're not like kind of wandering around waiting for somebody to approach you. So that is actually like really cool. The music is actually really good when it works. I do like the music. That's pretty nice. I like that the game is free, so that's pretty good. You know, free is always nice. Now this game, I played it two ways. I played it as a solo and I played it as a duo. And let me tell you, playing as a duo is just a hell of a lot more fun than playing as a solo. And that's how I kind of thought, like, when this game was coming out and I heard that, you know, it was tag and it could be like a 4v4. I kind of thought to myself, like, all right, I'm probably just going to play this game as a solo because that's how I play. That's how everybody plays fighting games. You know, how many fighting games are there where it's tag and you can like call in a friend, you know, to play with you. So I figured like, oh, I'm just gonna play solo. I'm gonna ignore the 4v4 aspect. But let me tell you, playing as a duo is just so much fun and so much better because there's so much strategy involved, and it brings in like these nice hype moments where it's like your buddy's getting their ass kicked, and then you tag in and you fucking hit your super and you break them, and then they can go back and heal, then you take over, and then, you know, back and forth. So there's a lot of teamwork and a lot of cooperation, and that part is really fun, and you don't really get that in solo play. Now, obviously in solo play you have a lot more, you know, control over assists and tags and everything like that, so your combo potential goes up very high playing solo. But playing as a duo, I think, is the correct way to be playing this game. I don't think going in playing solo is what they really had in mind for the game. It's like, yeah, it's there, but that's not really what they intended you to do. So I highly recommend, well, I mean, the alpha is over by the time this video goes out, but when the full game comes out, I highly recommend playing as a duo. You'll have way more fun than just playing solo.
Who told you?
So that's about it for my thoughts on 2XKO. There's a lot that they can improve on. Again, this is just the alpha, so there's a lot of stuff. I mean, we don't even have like a definite release date of when this game comes out. I mean, like I said, this game has been in production for 1,000,000 years now, so if I gotta wait like another 5 years for this game, I'll be making a video in 2030 saying, oh, 2XKO is finally out, guys. Here's my main review. But I mean, there's a lot of good, there's a lot of bad. I mean, a lot of the bad stuff is mainly technical, and a lot of the good is already like in the game. Like the controls are a little bit weird. It's gonna take some time to get used to with the light, heavy, and then your 2 special buttons. I'm still kind of on the supers being a down, and then a special. That's kind of weird. I kind of wish it would be like, motion inputs, or maybe like a direction or something. Like maybe do something like how Granblue does it for their supers. Like have it just be, I don't know. It's weird. It's weird trying to do supers in this game, but I'm sure as time goes on, we'll get used to it. Like I said, I've been seeing a lot of Twitter videos and a lot of YouTube videos of people just ripping out these insane touch of death combos. That's not really my style. I mean, I'm not a big fan of long combos. That's mainly what I disliked about Rising, was just how some of these combos go on forever, and this game also has the very long combos and, like I said, touch of death. But I feel like in a tag game, it doesn't really matter all that much compared to like something like Granblue. But yeah, maybe if they can tone that down. That's just my personal opinion, though. I know people like those long ass combos and touch of death and stuff like that. I'm not a big fan of it. That was like my one gripe with Skullgirls too, was that Skullgirls had combos that it was all mix-ups, and there you go. You get hit once. I was like, all right, fuck it, that's it. Put my controller down. I'll be watching Valentine getting juggled, for the next 40 seconds, before I have a time to do anything. So that's about my opinion for 2XKO. Now, like I always say, I am not paid by Riot Games. I am not being sponsored. I am not getting any money from them. Those are just my thoughts. Keeping it real. Although if Riot would like to cut me a check, I mean that would be pretty cool. I ain't saying nothing, but my bank account's looking a little light. If Riot just slipped in a couple thousands in there, I mean, heck, who's gonna know? Except for me, and probably the accounting team at Riot. But that's a story for another day. Alright guys, so let me know what you think in the comments. Did you enjoy the 2XKO alpha? Were you able to get in? What did you think? What was your favorite mode? Do you think the lobbies are pretty neat? And if you liked the video, make sure you subscribe to the channel and get more rambling and stuff like that. And like the video, and do all the cool stuff that YouTube wants you to do. Alright, so I'll see you guys next time.